Hello, aspiring writers from Telling Tales. My name is Jennifer Maruno. I write historical fiction for middle grade and young adult readers. You know, writing historical fiction is a lot like baking a cake. You see, you need 3 basic ingredients. There's flour, and that tends to be the dry, kind of uninteresting facts about history. Then there's the eggs, and that's characters, things that are alive. Admittedly, some of the eggs are cracked. And then there's the milk. And the milk runs through the entire cake. And that's the plot. I'm sure you've heard the expression, never cry over spilled milk. Well, when writing historical fiction, someone has to spill the milk, and someone usually has to cry. Now, the important thing about historical fiction is making sure your setting really allows the people to believe that you're back in history. And setting is what takes people out of the world that they're in as they're reading your book into the world that exists inside your book. Now, setting has a lot of things that are important to it. For instance, if it's a house, you have to know what kind of house it is. And you have to know the name of the street. You even know the name of the town, even the name of the province, the country, or wherever it is that you are placing your setting. Outside the house, there should be things such as a park. Maybe there's a school nearby, a grocery store, a variety store. Whatever is part of that setting must be true to the time. For instance, in 1960s, baseball parks were popular. There's a lot of baseball in my books. After all, I am a Blue Jay fan, and you have to know that sports at the time are different as time passes on. Other things that are important inside your house, for instance, is the kitchen. Now, the kitchen changes so much over time. At one time, there were no microwaves. People weren't barbecuing. Well, I guess they were in the Stone Ages, but they weren't barbecuing in the 1940s. A barbecue is a very interesting thing to go to. And it's usually people came from all over to barbecue something very big. They weren't throwing a couple of hamburgers on the back like we do today. Other things that are important about writing your novel for setting is making sure that you do have the correct clothes. People didn't always wear what they're wearing today. Girls didn't wear bikinis in the 1960s, and even a 2-piece bathing suit then was considered to be quite exciting. Boys wore running shoes, high-top running shoes, and girls often wore bathing caps when they went in to swim. It's interesting how times have changed. Research is important when you do settings for historical fiction. Why don't you try writing just a page or so about a special place that comes from your past? Sit down and think about something that you really enjoyed doing a long time ago, well, not even that long ago, say maybe a couple of years ago, and start thinking about where it occurred, what you were doing, why you liked it, but then start thinking about, did you eat before you did this? What did you eat? What kind of food? What kind of food was popular then? Did you wear special clothes for what you were doing? Were you looking forward to wearing something special? Tell me what the room looked like that you were doing it in. Or maybe you were outside. Maybe you were playing baseball. Who knows? Maybe you were swimming. The thing is you need to be aware of your setting. So when you write, always make sure your setting is an important part of your story.